somebody actually recognizes me as Jay Kelton and says, "Hey, you're Jay Kelton. I watch your stream." So we did have though. Braid knows this. He and I. Did we talk about this last week?
No, we didn't. I didn't mention it.
Okay, we didn't mention it last week. He and I was playing last week, and we jumped into a ranked duo game, and we just jump in randomly, and then some random player in the game says, "Hey Jake, do you stream?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "I watched your stream." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool, because there's a potential that maybe somebody just randomly went across my stream, saw it for a minute, and then left. That's fine." And he's like, "No, I watched the Dragon Con stream last week, like that previous weekend. He had watched the Dragon Con stream, and then like 4 days later, we're playing with this dude. And our minds were blown. We were like, "What? That's crazy, crazy." Oh, I see. Slave was like, "I missed my chance to hop in when there was an opening. Sorry, Slave. You'll get in next time. Slave, we'll get you in next Tuesday if you can make it, and I can spell." Hey! Somebody knows Mizzy. There's a whole group of you guys that know each other. I love it. Don't forget to use Discord as we talk about the picks and bans, because we're not paying attention whatsoever. Yasuo, Syndra, super strong champions, and then of course the Ardent Censor, Janna, Lulu being banned out. I'm surprised nobody has banned out the Nami yet, because she is super strong. Actually, she doesn't have shields. She has heals. Maybe Ardent Censor is powerful, or is it not? But it's still strong.
Ardent Censor triggers off heals too.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, it's not as strong, but it's still pretty darn strong, because your heal bounces to at least 2 allied players. So
yeah, Ardent Censor is the strongest on people who can rapidly shield multiple people. However, it is very potent on Nami. It's very potent on Rakan. Let's see, who else? Lulu, Soraka, Janna, obviously. But yeah, so all in all, just a hugely powerful piece of equipment. Let's see. We got There's No Pause picking up the Lee Sin. Very interesting. We usually see him playing the Yasuo, but it is banned out against him. Somebody remembered what happened last time. Let's see. We turn them gay, grabbing the Draven into the Callista. I actually don't know that matchup. Usually I'm pretty well versed on my bot lane matchups. Phantom of Temp finally getting to play his Anivia. He never gets to play that.
The Reeves was not in the game, and so the Anivia slips through. That is one of his best played champions. I love it. Excited to see it. We heard that Mizzy's Nami is incredibly powerful, which I was pretty hyped for with the Ardent Censor, but it's going to be the hook for hook in the bot lane with the Thresh pick. So now the bot lane has been picked. We can start checking out some of these other ones. I'm actually kind of curious on that Nami ban, considering that the other team has a Blitzcrank, which to me says that they are playing bottom lane Blitzcrank. So interesting choice there. I was expecting more jungle bans to pinch the pool from Pound's Popo.
Yeah, banning even if it's like a super powerful, like say, like if I play Jhin super well and then our team has already picked up a Sivir AD carry, then banning my Jhin is kind of not that
helpful.
Not that helpful.
Strategic.
It's not going to be played.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? Nami in the mid lane, there's always the possibility. Who knows? We'll find out. But
mid lane Nami OP, man.
And an Aatrox ban. I would not envision that champion being worth a ban. He has been played before. He's been played 2 or 3 times on the stream. Kind of uncommon, but has been played. But maybe a lot of these people are actually from a school and know each other fairly well. So maybe somebody knows something we don't know and knows that Aatrox would be powerful in the hands of Baronor or something. He did play a killer jungle last game. We'll find out if his Elise is going to be played again this time or not, which is, again, a little bit surprising. But Lee Sin able to deal a little bit with the Elise, mostly because he's great at running away.
Yeah, Elise does have the ability to block his Q with her spiderlings, though.
This is true.
So it is considered that she typically wins that match.
That's why I said he's good at running away, not that he's good at killing things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got excited for the Rengar, but it may be instead the Elise. Which is fine. Played an incredible Elise last time, and we'll be seeing it once again this time. There are a couple players that have edged themselves out as really good players of specific champions, and now that we've got so many new players, it's going to get even more interesting as people try to memorize and remember who plays what really, really well.
There's
and
no
casters,
pause plays Yasuo.
It's so much more entertaining to watch this happen because we see different players and the champion pools, and we go, oh, we know what that person's going to play, even if the other players didn't. So apparently Slave is also a pretty good AD carry, according to the chat, but he doesn't want anybody to know because we don't know what his AD carry that he's really good at is, and that's okay. But apparently he does play a solid AD carry role. In the meantime, as we are in finalizations of picks and bans, which I haven't been able to show anybody because I've been totally trolling and accidentally forgot to switch over the stream, but we can see it now. Let's run through the players and the champions real quickly for Team Balance Popo. We've got Chains taking the Blitzcrank, supporting the bottom lane duo once again with Draven. Return them game, picking up that champion. Same champions, a little bit of different players. We've got Phantom of Temp taking Anivia in the mid lane, Captainator on the Tryndamere in the top lane, and Baronor 3 once again on the super powerful Elise. And then for Team Raid Boss, give it to us.
For Team Raid Boss, we've got Lee Sin, played by There's No Pause. Winger 9025 with the Callista in the bottom lane ADC role. Mizzy on Thresh in the bottom lane support role. Soulfight picking up the Annie in the mid. Austin Sordolor on Gragas in the jungle. We'll see how this... we've already seen the Gragas-Elise matchup once. We'll see if it goes in a similar direction, or if Austin Sordolor will be able to break the Gragas curse. Now, let's see.
Yeah, you go ahead and talk about the teams a little bit, because I think I started last time.
All right, so team analytics. Let's go. So you've got good team fight coming out of the Nivea, decent CC. You've got split push out of Tryndamere. If he doesn't win lane, he loses pretty much the game. No, I guess Gragas is actually top lane versus Tryndamere. So regardless of whether he loses that or not, he's still going to be effective. I would say once again we're looking at. I see the tilting matchup being Callista versus Draven.
Yeah.
Right now, because they're both snowbally champions. Callista, like I said, I don't know that matchup because they're both early game lane bullies, and with the Draven and the Callista. Like, if Draven gets ahead, he snowballs out of control. If Callista gets ahead, she snowballs out of control. I think it's going to be very much up to either Lee Sin or Elise to snowball this matchup one way or the other. If Draven gets ahead, I think Team Balance Popo wins, and if Callista gets ahead, especially with the Callista Thresh, I think Team Raid Boss gets will win. As for late game, probably just a little more consistency coming out of the Annie, but it's a very it's a puzzle because Annie is super powerful late game and very easy to execute on, but Anivia is a bit of a counter. Simply because it's very difficult for Annie to get close if Anivia is playing well. Gragas.
Well, I would say also that
I would say that Team Raid Boss has the edge because they have a tank for the late game.
Right, and the one thing you can counter that with is that Blitz can be semi-tank, and Tryndamere's invincibility puts him as a sort of off tank. But it really comes down to...
Tanks are designed to soak damage, though, and if you're dumping damage into an immortal Tryndamere, you're boosted.
Well, that's just, yeah. So, interesting thing is that I think these teams are fairly balanced just on the picks alone, because the wave clear is pretty even between the Anivia and the Annie. The execution power of a Callista Draven are both really powerful. The really strong engages from a Gragas Lee Sin or a Blitzcrank Elise are going to be huge. So they are very, rather than what we've seen before, where it's kind of a heavy snowball team versus a team that kind of wants to play it out and team fight as fives in the mid game. Both these teams have a fairly even composition, and I'm excited to see what they can pull out for us as we get into game. Do you have a prediction, good sir, as to which team will take it in the end, though? That's the question.
Let's see. It's very curious because from a straight analytics standpoint, it's all revolving around you have a counter matchup in mid lane, but Annie should technically win the game. If everyone plays equally, Annie's easier to execute on, and but the Thresh or the Draven versus Kalista matchup, I don't know well enough to make a call on it. But I'm going to go with Team Raid Boss, mainly because I like the name. But I think, shoot, I don't know. They're both the most mechanically difficult ADCs, with maybe the exception of Vayne. And I'm just very fascinated to watch this bot lane matchup. Like I said, Team Raid Boss, I think, has an edge in the late game simply because they have a tank and they have someone to soak and kind of peel as a frontliner in the late game, versus for Team Balance Popo, you don't really have that. So yeah, so that's my prediction. I could be totally.
You're talking a lot. I missed the last part of that. So which team is it that's going to take the win?
I think the Team Raid Boss is going to do it. Of course, they're invading at the moment. With the Blitzcrank, so if Soulfight gets caught out right here, that's going to be...
They do see him, so both teams are aware of where the other team is at. Annie, so confident! Oh my goodness, gonna get flashed out, hooked there by Blitzcrank. First blood going over to Anivia. A little bit disappointed they didn't give that to the Draven, but still a good champ to put it on, I suppose, in the mid lane.
That's a critical error right there.
Especially when
he knew they were there. Like, why do you go and ward that? There's no reason. I mean, getting vision right there matters not at all.
I guess if you want to know when they leave, but at the same time, I don't think it was that critical. Yeah. The one thing about that bush is that there isn't any safe place to ward over a wall to get vision. But yeah, Annie definitely gonna be chewing on that one for a little while. Regardless,
that really hurts.
Standard starts for the junglers. Go ahead.
Because she's already in a counter matchup, and putting herself at a deficit of first blood as well. As soon as Anivia goes, stun on first back. If Niv is smart, she'll go back and get that tier. Then probably Chains missing the first game. Are we still doing the kneecap your mother to miss a?
No, that was only Donchus, so not going to be the same on this one. But something else I wanted to note is that despite Annie being hooked and literally handed on a silver platter to the team of Balance Popo, Draven did not get an assist on that actually. So
yeah,
it just kind of wasn't paying attention, I suppose. Maybe he was up around the corner throwing down some more wards or something. But Mizzy taking a little bit of heavy damage in the bottom lane against the Draven. Did get a nice play earlier, which is going to chunk up some of the potions, or at least one potion on the Blitzcrank. But
yeah, Mizzy hasn't chugged any potions, but Chains has, so it looks like there's a little bit of a bigger health deficit between the two of them. But I think Mizzy is since he's at half health, is actually going to try and sustain up via the passive regen, which is wow, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, Gragas in the top lane doing a little bit of work against the Tryndamere in the mid lane. Egg Form has been popped on
key gank.
Yeah, nicely done from the Lee Sin using that red buff and gives it. No, the red buff trying to give it over to Annie, but the red buff tick means that he picks it up. Still not a terrible champ to have it on in the for them, but would have been better. The crit barrel on Tryndamere means that is picked up there from the Gragas. And in the mid lane, there's no pause. Going right back in as Barador went a little bit too deep. Nice AoE there. The Q coming out. And these jugglers are going all in. And that's going to be Lee Sin picking up a second kill. And so far, Raid Boss coming right back after losing first blood.
Yeah, that's an Austin Sword doing super large amounts of work in the top lane. He's already solo killed his laner, and the thing is, if Tryndamere doesn't get ahead, he's absolutely useless. Hold on, Winger's been hooked.
Oh, and Mizzy actually hooks a minion. Doesn't get the hook onto the Blitzcrank. Gets a minion, keeping it safe. The Ignite on down. Draven goes in, throws one axe. That was perfect timing for him. Just walks right in as Calista says, I might be able to live with a little sustain, the health pod that I popped, and avoid the last tick of the Ignite. He just walks in, throws down the autos, and not playing respectful from that Calista. And in the top lane, Gragas just goes right back in, just smashing around the Trinity who started a culling and is not so far. Oh, actually, he's ahead of Gragas on farm at the moment, but gonna be a while before he gets the use of that.
Oh, he started call? Well, that's basically just seeding laning phase. That's
amazing. Gragas is actually down pretty heavily in farm in that top lane, even though he is continuing to bully this Tryndamere out. Good from this Tryndamere Catinator to get that farm anyways.
Yeah, the fat man doesn't CS super well. However, if he manages to pick up another kill, this Gragas, I mean, Gragas is kind of supposed to lose lane as a tanky champion. Now, of course, in this particular matchup, he should be winning. Catinator is picking fights that he can't win right now. I mean, there's no way that his auto attacks win out on the front-loaded burst damage. Basically, what you've got right there is front-loaded versus back-loaded damage. If Catinator fights for an extended period of time, he will win that fight. Because Gragas, all of that damage you're seeing is his full burst combo. And he doesn't really get any more damage than that except autos. But Tryndamere isn't actually able to get his full quote-unquote combo off, which is, auto attack, auto attack, auto attack, auto attack.
Well, here's the thing is that Oscillor is doing a really good job of keeping this Tryndamere from moving in. Oh, throws down the ultimate, just misses as well. Flash used from Tryndamere, nicely done. Knock up here from Chains onto Annie with the roam mid, while forcing her to flash. Still has the Tibbers as well as the Sun available, but decides not to use it, instead playing it on the safe side. And now we have a gank from the Elise in the top lane. The Gragas does not have that much mana, and Tryndamere's got his ult available as well. The body slam from Gragas keeping it out for a moment, trying to burst down the Elise. In the bot lane, Draven going hard onto Kalista, not quite going to get there. Nice hook from the Thresh. Not quite a death sentence, but does stop the engage as Blitz flash hooks and misses completely. That's like such an incredibly awesome thing to see on stream if you land it, but if you miss, it looks awful, as now he won't have flash to engage. Here's the play, pulls the Draven right into Lee Sin's waiting arms, as there's no pause, picks that one up. Low health, but this Blitzcrank not going to do that much damage, as it is only
I'm surprised
4.
they didn't chase that with 3 people still there.
They
totally could have got... Yeah, but they still totally could have gotten that. I mean, Blitz was out of mana. What's he going to do?
Auto! And maybe knock you out, because I think that's at this level, that's the lowest mana ability to have as a Blitzcrank is your E. But this guy is playing with no mana in the top lane after getting the Catalyst.
Yeah, he's definitely at a disadvantage right now. And the thing is that while he's playing very aggressively and doing an excellent job of that, Catinator has 50 CS to his 20, so it's a 30 CS advantage. Even though Austin Soar has a kill, Catinator's ahead in gold.
Oh no! The anti-damage! Oh, that's a highlight moment. It's busy. Plays the Blitzcrank right in soul fight. That's a clenched butt cheek right there. I don't even care what you say.
That crossed CC, both of those. If either of those had connected, he would have died.
That was amazing. Straight into the kick. There's no pause going on to Catinator. Hustler doesn't have that much that he can do. Throw some autos down as the ultimate has been burned. The flash crit from Gragas not quite going to be enough as he goes
Gragas
back
is out of mana.
Barador tries to get the kill. At least they're going to pick himself up one, and at least it's a double kill.
Barador with the turnaround. Lee Sin tried to back off to give it to Gragas, but didn't notice the fact that Grag had no health. Or no mana, rather.
No mana.
Turn the game.
Right
gonna lose this one.
Oh, Winger, very low help.
Use
Popo
the
attack
ult.
doesn't get it. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Well, why didn't Callista ult there? They had the 6 advantage. Had she pulled in the Thresh and gotten the knockup, that would have been
Easy kill.
easy kill. Force the Draven to drop his axe, and you win that matchup. An unfortunate misplay.
Maybe thought they had enough, and then by the time that Callista realized that he was super low health, just was too much of a panic to back off. And I think that's something that was huge credit to the Draven. We turned them gay, saying, you know what, I'm just going to go 100% in on this Callista and do as much damage as I can and get some trade kills. So nicely done
and the
there.
thing is, the Thresh got that kill, so it's actually despite the fact that they killed the Draven, it's a positive trade for it.
That's true. That's true. At least I want to gank this top lane, but Gragas now has mana. Has been slowed. Nice ult. Just going to knock the at least back. Cocoon did land though, so that's still going to be a dead Gragas. Doesn't even get to pop the last barrel before he goes down. This Elise Barador just showing us the power of the early game jungle.
Yeah, but not too shabby on There's No Pause either. He's been everywhere on the map too.
As he goes
middle
mid lane.
attempt, going to get kicked back in. Soulfight not paying attention. But it looks like Lee Sin can, is he going to be able to, Soulfight I do not believe has flash right now. He's going to egg him, Soulfight's going to get the assist.
Oh no,
actually,
get the
There's
kill.
No Pause giving it.
No!
Knowing that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Anivia actually didn't have flash, so he probably could have given it to the Annie. Catnator going in hard, but Elite's gonna get bursted down. And yeah, that's that. The Soulfight, the Annie mechanics right there, super powerful.
Oh, wow! There's no pause with the hook, the Q over the wall as Gragas finishes the kill off. This jungle matchup, like so far today, we've had 3 incredible junglers, and I am loving every minute of it. So beautiful play there, but still the team's fairly even in gold, only about a 600 gold lead from Raid Boss. Now, something they didn't mention in the chat that the Callista actually had heal as well, could have healed out of the Draven last auto. So my only assumption is just did not assume there was going to be that much damage going out from the Draven. But you cannot expect that on the Draven, especially when he has BF Sword. As this Gragas just goes straight in immediately, helps Catnator after teleporting in the top lane. This game is awesome, I love it.
Yeah, this is much more even as well than the last 2 games.
If we had games like this every night, 3 games in a row, my life would be made. That would just be awesome.
Yes, I agree on that one, Jake. So in the bottom lane, still, I suppose we do have a decided advantage over the Draven, as he does have 2 kills despite dying twice. Baranor in the jungle right there, looking to set up a dive on the bot side. Austin Soar is dueling with Catnator once again, but the Tryndamere's starting to get a little bit more sustain up. And it looks like it's AP Gragas who's not as effective. Like,
I mean, Mizzy had to hook that minion, that spider link. You gotta get that 5 gold. Gotta get those control words, man. It's super important. Super critical. Oh, Cocoon! Onto There's No Pause. He may be at his... Oh, he turns around! Oh, the Elise! What are we watching right now? He is gonna get walled up and just knock himself with that blast cone over the wall. Annie coming in from behind doesn't have stun available. There's No Pause, goes right back in, jumps over the ward to ward hopping. That's what I meant. Jumps over the wall to ward hop as Thresh pushes Blitzcrank out. And There's No Pause gets out with the incredible Elise kill outplay. Just amazing.
The Lee Sin. That was pretty clean right there. Always a joy to watch clean Lee Sin when he's not in my games on the enemy team.
Yes, exactly. When you're the team that's playing against this type of Lee Sin, you're in trouble as the stun goes down and Elise gonna get crushed again. Now, both of these junglers are early game spikers and are gonna fall off a little bit late game. Catnator finally gets his turret, and the field flash from Austinator means that he's probably gonna go down. Does get the barrel for the slows. Catnator just needs to spin and gets the slow, flashes the spin, but not gonna get enough spin to win. Finally finishes him off, and Catnator gets a second kill in the top lane. Gragas
Yeah,
didn't even
that's a
have
little
boots.
bit concerning as Tryndamere, if he doesn't win the lane, he loses the game. As he is an AFK split pusher, he doesn't offer a lot to team fights. So him getting that influx of gold right there and having kept his CS up decently despite losing laning phase in an HP amount, that's really critical for him.
There's a pause. Sneaks away his red despite the not having smite and under the face of Tryndamere baits him in. And here just misses the W, but that's the ulting Tryndamere trying to get out, but Gragas could get the return kill. In the bot lane, they're pushed again once again underneath the turret. There's a pause. Lands the Q! This guy is a god! Oh my goodness.
Wow, that was
Yeah,
wow.
Even in the chat, Cat was like, that was sick, Lee. That was sick. I mean, there's nothing else to say about that type of thing. Bot lane turret gonna go down for Team Balance Popo, which I like because they've been a little bit more efficient about pushing these turrets. They actually haven't lost a single turret themselves, and now picked up 2 of them, and that's what's keeping this gold both even and a little bit ahead for Balance Popo, despite being down so many kills. Baranor keeping the blue buff. Now, Anivia did start the Rod of Ages, so we'll have a little bit of mana, but I know that mid to late game, you're going to want to get that blue buff over to the Anivia and let her spam out those ultimates.
Mm-hmm. Probably one of the most mana-hungry champions in the game. Just wave clear, wave clear. Phantom of Temp flashing in, ulting, and those are some anti-mechanics right there. Flash in, smash your face on the keyboard.
But Egg will keep Anivia alive. That's the Anivia form. But in the mid lane, Kakuto! Tibber shows up just at the last second to say nope.
We'll say that was anti-mechanics. Intentionally walked far enough away from Tibbers to snap it back and block the Cocoon.
Absolutely. Soul fight, just miraculous play there. Gragas taking a little bit of a Krug farm, but gonna lose the rest of it. Tryndamere going right back in, but here's the Lee Sin. There's no pause, looking for a return
Here
kill.
comes the blind monk. What was that?
Wow. Not sure how that Gragas ult was supposed to work, but that means that the Tryndamere does get away. Unfortunate enough for them. It looks
and
like
that's a
Wind
free
Drake.
Cloud Drake, even though like nobody really wanted Cloud Drake.
Yeah, I think
objective control.
I think the main thing is twofold. One, it's good to give it on to Tryndamere, who likes to split push. Oh, the Flash Cocoon. That's going to be a dead Callista. There's not much you can do that with a great ult from the Blitzcrank. Flayed underneath the turret says, I can take it up. I am Blitzcrank. Beep boop. You're dead.
That's bot lane turret unless Annie can roam down and stop this.
And
nobody's really low, so she doesn't have a lot of kill threat except for the fact she's Annie.
A 3,000 gold lead cut out for Balance Popo right now. Lee Sin, the only one that's that far ahead on Raid Boss, is going to find the Draven. Says, I'm the one ahead. That's okay. Gragas going to be here as well. Not going to land the slow. Will land the body slam, though. That's going to be enough with the crit. As Baranor tries to get the speed boost and gets the Cocoon, but Lee Sin says, I'm here, jumping back and forth. I will solo carry this game. Tryndamere now, his turn to go in as he has teleported onto this. Don't think he wants it, though. Can't even get the ultimate down because he was stunned up from Soul Fight.
There's No Pause is currently 11-1. Wow. Okay.
That's called carrying, ladies and gentlemen. Lee Sin's back. He may be blind, but he's got that back support.
Okay, so we have a giveaway this evening. It's a free trip to the chiropractor for There's No Pause. Gonna need some back surgery after this game.
Ooh, would have been a nice combo if Chains had landed that hook and the wall kept Annie from getting easily out of that one. Could have walked around it. The late game fully scaled Anivia wall is crushingly large, but this time still will be the small level one, not too much on that one. As Soulfight just tries to continue to farm, which has done a decent job of it. 40 farm over this Anivia. Well, 30 farm now that Anivia just cleared that wave, which is pretty good. In the top lane, 80 carries. You asked who was going to be the winner of this fight.
Rend!
And
Rend!
it looks
You need
like
to slow.
Winger,
Rend!
still on the run, will be able to escape, but could have been dead.
Baranor. No.
Oh, James is going to find There's No Pause, and he misses the Sonic Wave. Kicks the what am I talking about? Clicks the Blitzcrank over. However, there's the Thresh here for the assistance, and Annie with the Timbers gets a double kill. That's Annie for you. Just walks up, Tibbers.
You remember what I said last game about Riot's balance team needing to stop smoking the reefer? That's that.
At
right
least
there.
it wasn't on the 80 carry. I mean, that's a good thing. As
No,
Trinamir,
I mean it was just on the jungler and the support. I mean, who needs those guys?
who needs those? Who needs? Oh, kind of a little bit nice outplay there, but still gonna go down. As you turn them gay, gonna get jumped upon there. Knocked to the side. Thresh wants a hook, gonna not get it.
No,
as the
he
Ripper
doesn't
takes
want that
down
hook.
the
There's no
turret.
one with damage within a quarter mile.
Hey, Gragas used to have damage, but as he is now dead, won't have it. However, there's no pause. Looking for the kill. Full fight on the side. Has the Tibbers. There's no pause. Minion jump. The flash. Catinator with that Windrick. That's what I'm talking about. Windrick, baby. Keeping
you saw who is it? Is it Jad or Freak who loves Windrake?
Freak is a huge fan of Windrake, as they're gonna pick up their 4th turret of the game in the mid lane. Windrake's baby. That's how you do. Nice on the Blitzcrank as well, pulling that Lee Sin back in a kick. Draven right into the waiting hands of Soul Fight. The hook there from Thresh, gonna keep him there as well. The flay, not quite gonna be enough. His chain's on the run now.
Yeah, that's
chain
tilting.
CC
As the Draven, who's trying to go full man mode, just gets kicked back into the Annie stun, blown up, and then flash hooked by Thresh over the wall. What's she gonna do? Buy a QSS. That's okay. Feels bad, man.
I mean, he's 12-1, going damage route.
Anyway.
Oh, flashes the wall, but the ward jump. Uses a control ward just to get that over the wall, flashing the swag, because why not when you're just that far ahead? But they're still not. Still down 2,000 gold with all those turrets. That's the thing about Lee Sin, is that he can tend, if he hasn't snowballed so hard, to fall off late game. And no one else besides Soulfight really has all that much to say. The basically the Gragas and Thresh are just CC bots, and Soulfight and Lee are the only 2 true damage dealers. We'll have to find out if they can keep this up, as Catinator picks up another turret, just doing his split push thing.
Yeah, for the most part, Winger isn't actually using Callista's passive super well. Kite? Kite.
Oh, man! With the ultimate, but Draven picks up a double kill, cleaning house in the bottom lane. Draven versus the Lee. Let's go as he moves in, wanting to get this turret. Just throwing a couple autos down. Blitzcrank here as well. There's no pause. Goes in on the Draven. This is the fight we were looking for. The knockup, the silence onto the Lee Sin. The Tryndamere doesn't even care. Cleans the house on the Annie with the ultimate now going in as well. The Lee Sin, nice flash there. And the bait gets the kill on the Tryndamere return. Now with the double buff can take out the Blitzcrank whenever you want. But in the mid lane, Anivia throwing down the ultimate, clearing minions that aren't even there, as they pick up a 6th turn of the game with 0 in response. Elise goes over the wall, but still cannot kill this Lee Sin. He is too strong, 14-1. Draven with the stand aside, but just gonna get knocked right back with the Gragas. He's got the double stun. He's got the double slow. The body slam might come out. Elise trying to get onto Kalista. Not gonna find it. Flashes the Rend from the Q. Just gonna be able to get out of that one. This game is nuts. I love it.
I've seen Kalista Rend once this entire game.
No, she did Rend in the top lane against the Draven and almost outplayed him underneath the turret, but he got out of turret range. So, would have been nice. But Draven versus the Lee Sin, this is what we're looking for. Stand aside, will it be enough? Look at him go. He grabbed the hook, but the rest of the team is there. That's not how you 1v1. Let him fight. We want to see these 2 giants go down. But it is going to be Draven with the Windrake escaping, picking up an ocean as well for Team Balance Popo.
I don't think the Windrake had anything to do with that fight.
That gave him a speed boost to get away from the Gragas. What are you talking about?
It's 8 seconds out of combat. He totally was not 8 seconds out of combat.
He was by the time he got to the Ocean Drake.
Oh. By that time, he was already out.
Okay, what you're missing
life was the speed boost of his W.
What you're missing is Windrake is not about giving you a physical speed boost. While it does, the Windrake is more about the emotional speed boost that it gives you. It's the spirit of the Windrake that carries you to a win. As Catinator gonna get jumped upon, does have his ultimate, but probably still gonna go down despite using it, unless he can go over the wall, which he does. Does he escape? No one saw that coming? Alright, Catinator pulls Thresh in very low health, but Soul Fight here for the outplay of Tibbers. Doesn't have stun available. There's the Tibbers. The Thresh has already gone down. There's no pause. Very low health. Chains wanted to finish off the kill. The Soul Fight now on the run. Gets the stun. Still knocked up. Cocoon also landing. Blitzcrank gonna go down. Lee Sin sniped that with a Sonic Wave. As we turn them game, just continues to farm heavily in the bottom lane, but there's no ultimate on Catinator. He spins to win, but the flash from the Gragas might put him in range. Can he lifesteal enough? Not, as the Callista's worth gold again. Doesn't even matter, though. She's going to flash to safety for a moment as we turn them game.
We turn them game is just AFK in the bot lane. This is what happens when Nasus mains play AD carry.
Is he going to actually continue? He's going to go for this. 1v1 on the lead. Let's do it. It's 1v2. Can he get this? He gets one. He almost gets the other. He just has to get one more auto attack down, but the slow prevents Mizzy from going down. And the inhibitor has been cleared as we turn them gay. Turns a 1v2 into a flashing swag.
When Nasus mains play AD carry, just AFK, shove bottom lane, keep shoving bottom lane. My team usually flames me for doing stuff like that, but we turn them gay, making it work super well. He can outplay in the 2v1. Is he gonna go for this? Because that's kind of bold.
I think he went in initially just going, any squishy, I got this, and then sees the stun available and says, yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But the Thresh, oh, wow! I don't even care that he went down. That was amazing on the blast cone. Just, still gets, it still goes down, but still, like, if he had a little bit more health, that would have been sick. I think Elise even repelled that.
Austin Sword needs to learn that if he gets close to this Draven will eat him.
Tryndamere goes in on this. Nice stun there. Lee Sin. Oh, he gets the ultimate down. Stun not going to work because there's no one there to take it. Soulfight picks it up over the wall. But now that means that the Baron is free and available. Elise just around the corner trying to steal off. Gragas knocks two away, but it is still him going down. Elise around the corner, not going to land a cocoon. There's no pause. Not able to get the Baron as it has reset its health. But the stun onto Annie gets the Tibbers down. Oh, trying to lifesteal back up. And by lifesteal, I mean Spellvamp is going to go down, but has popped the egg as the Tibbers finishes off the Blitzcrank. Tibbers rage mode. Are they going to get the Draven? The straight hook there. They decide not to go it all in on that, which is actually a little bit surprising because they did have play up the pings for the backing.
No, they don't want that fight. Lee Sin has fallen off, and Draven just keeps scaling. He has so much life still that there's there's like a curve. You want to talk about mathematics? There's one of the intersect curves, but the amount of damage Draven is life dealing for intersect and overcomes the damage that the tank are dealing to him. At that point, he's just unstoppable. And you need your 80 carry or your mid laner to 80 carry is 1-7. So he's not really making Callista passive, which Callista is one of the most difficult carries to play. But you have to kite her. No reason to play Callista if you're not going to.
Yeah, we'll see if that changes. Rip no exhaust for the Draven. Yeah, that is true. The no exhaust in the bottom lane definitely punishing on those engages as Annie picks up her blue buff. Next objective, as we've seen before, will be this Baron. Everyone from Balanced Popo gathering around besides the Draven, who apparently is playing split push this game and continues to push the bottom lane.
The question is, can There's No Pause steal this away? Doesn't look like it. It's burning fast.
Chain's doing a nice job of actually staying over the wall. He's got the good knock-up, silence as well, but we'll stop Lee Sin from getting in on that one. There's just too many wards from Balanced Popo that the raid boss decided they didn't feel comfortable. And despite having an incredibly good early game, with losing 9 towers to 0, has just fallen off the gold chain, but the Draven might be cut. The hook just misses, but they still pick him up. There's no pause, very low health. The hook from Blitzcrank just gonna put a little bit of stun onto the Gragas. However, still will go down as the ulting Tryndamere cleans up 2 kills, going in for a third. His ult has been finished. He might go down to the tower. Soulfly picks up that one, but gets return kill from the Anivia. Sorry, the Elise actually got credit for that one, as the Nivea gets the Callista, and that is a near ace, of course. The 16-2. Lee Sin, the only one left alive, flashes. Warhops keep himself alive, but that is going to be the end of the game as blue side picks up their first win of the night. Bounce Popo takes it away in epic fashion. What a
Yeah,
game.
that was a really good game to watch, but the late game, the fact that Gragas went AP and did not farm. You have 98 CS to Trindamir's 200. That's ridiculous amounts of money. So while Austin Soar did an excellent job in the early game harassing and basically harrying the Tryndamere, he did not keep his CS up. He didn't keep the gold coming in, so he didn't get the items that would allow him to out-tank the Tryndamere's damage. Tryndamere got lifesteal, crit, and then that was the end of the game, or at least as far as top lane was concerned. In the bottom lane, the matchup that I was talking about, Winger 9025 versus We Turn Them Gay. I was saying whoever wins that matchup probably wins the game. As you see, We Turn Them Gay won that quite handedly, and they won the game as a result because Callista was going to be one of the only is their only sort of late game consistent damage. And since they didn't have any consistent damage, while they could burst down one target, they just couldn't deal with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
So honorable mentions, MVPs for the final game of the night. So for team Raid Boss, MVP is There's No Pause for reasons I don't feel like I need to emphasize. Ridiculous mechanics, basically trying to carry his team the whole game. Second place is Soulfight, mid lane power. He in several cases he out rotated the Draven and caught him in bad situations, picking off carries and such, and generally doing probably the most damage on his team, with the exception of the Lee Sin. Then for team balance, Popo. Let's see. We Turn Them Gay is going to be your MVP for the late game team fighting. There are several second place. In part, I want to say Baronor for his pressure around the map. In part, I want to say Phantom of Tempt for doing a pretty decent job in the middle lane. And in part, I want to say Catnator for keeping his CS up despite being in a very difficult game, very difficult lane in the early game. So I think I'm going to give it over to Baronor for map-wide pressure in the early game, and still managing to get good ganks off and counter ganks off, despite the fact that the Lee Sin was super far ahead. So those are your MVPs and honorable mentions for game 2 or game 3.
Yeah, it was absolute blast to show you guys kind of the damage and the advanced details, as well as some sick warding from both teams there. Over 25 or about 25 wards, I think, from both teams, the Lee Sin and the Blitzcrank specifically. But nonetheless, yeah, 25 on the Lee Sin, 23 on the Blitzcrank, 19 on the Thresh. That's a lot of wards. I love seeing that type of stuff, especially in a 28-minute game. That means the Lee Sin on average placed almost one ward per minute, just under a word per minute. That's pretty awesome. But mechanical fiestas are the best. Exactly, Fire Drunner. So, as I said, the Tigress, we shoutcast all night long. We shoutcast all night long. Seriously, though, Soul Fight, that is a highlight reel. I do have a couple of them on my Twitch channel, and we'll continue to rack them up. But that is by far a highlight reel of the evening, was the literal just walking back to tower, not getting hit by the Blitzcrank hook